Alright. Well, how many of us know someone in a class or a job, maybe in a sport that we play, that doesn't always do things the right way, always tries to take the shortcut or cheat to get things done? I know in basketball there's a lot of coaches that go about things this way. And this relates to the quote, "It's not true that nice guys finish last. Nice guys are winners before the game ever even starts." And I feel that this is true because I think of a lot of examples. First thing that comes to mind is that a lot of nice guys, I feel like, attract, nice girls or a nice spouse. That when you're younger, a lot of people try to tell you that you should be a rebel, and that that's what my dad would tell me. The girls with the bad one. So my dad would try to tell me. And I feel like this doesn't make much sense because if you're out there with people, you're usually surrounded by people that are doing the same thing as you are. So this would, in the end, you probably end up getting hurt. Yeah. Another example I think of is karma. Good people, I believe in karma. I feel like good people have good things coming to them. And if you're cheating, if you're not a nice guy, in the long run, you're going to end up being hurt and affected by this. And finally, I think of Jason Giambi, who was a baseball player. He did steroids. And although this was the example of a person not doing the right thing, he was successful. It all came back to bite him when he went and ratted on everyone else who was doing steroids. And inevitably, he lost all of his friends, played baseball with. He lost all of his respect, a lot of money. So yeah, in summary, I feel that nice guys don't always finish last. I feel that if you go about things in the right way, you work hard for them, the rewards are usually greater. So yeah, be a nice guy.
I'm always easygoing. No, that's not what you meant. Give me just a second.
All right. The opening, you ask a question, and it should be a rhetorical question. You almost make it sound like a survey. You stretch it out a little bit. I think it might be a little bit uncertain as to how we're supposed to respond, and then ultimately we're not supposed to respond. So I think a hypothetical would work a little bit better, or ask it a little bit more rhetorically. I thought you had a good transition to your quote, and I thought your thesis was really solid. There's not really a preview of what's going to come up, but there is an organizational structure that you kind of have in your head and that you're giving to us while you're speaking. So it's not like you're getting us lost, but it would help a little bit to set up the structure for the audience while you're talking about this. I thought you had a pretty good first point and developed a couple of good ideas there, and then you didn't really follow through on those points as well as you could have. I love the idea, the second point that you had on karma, but you said almost nothing about it, and so there's a good idea that doesn't really, fulfill its potential as a consequence. And it's not hard to think of situations where those kinds of, what comes around goes around, situation, and I think you can come up with a few illustrations. You have one illustration that you say for your last point about Jason Giambi, and I thought that was okay. I think it could probably be subsumed in your karma example instead of being a standalone example. Use that as your point on this particular issue, and I think you'd be fine there. So content issues, you're actually pretty strong. There's a structure there. You're doing the right kinds of things. Pardon me. It's going off in my head here. Delivery issues, that's where there are a couple of problems. First of all, you've got those notes on the desk. That's where you deliver your speech 80% of the time. You are looking down at the desk, talking, that's where your ideas are. It's like, so the next thing I want to talk to you is about this other thing that I've got over here on my notes, and so you do that routinely. You keep going back to it, and I don't think you've got stuff written out more completely. You just, it becomes one of those crutches that people go to when there's any uncertainty. Well, let me go back here, and you don't need to do that because you've got a good structure. You just need to talk to and relate to the audience. So although your voice is fine, the visuals are problematic. You are looking at the desk, your facial expressions get limited by that, your body posture and position all look awkward because you keep at that angle looking over at the desk. I will mention one thing about the gestures. You have a tendency to kind of hold your hands together the whole time you're speaking, and I don't know if it's the nervous hand washing kind of thing, or if it's just you're not sure where you ought to be offering a little bit more of an indicator or maybe a descriptive gesture to go along with what you're talking about. It just looks like there's some tension there, and that's one place that you could relax a little bit, okay? All right, thank you.